The Chicago Bears are practicing day 2 of voluntary veteran OTAs. This is the first week of 4 straight weeks of off-season practices at Hallis Hall before we take a break till training camp. Today, I wanted to quickly cover some of the biggest storylines to keep an eye on during OTAs over the next couple of weeks. Let's go ahead and get right into it. Everyone will always be keeping an eye on the rookies, seeing where these guys line up and how they fit into the depth chart. All eyes will also be on Ben Johnson and Caleb Williams. But what else should you be looking out for? One of the most intriguing storylines of this offseason is who will be getting reps at left tackle with the first team. With our starting left tackle, Braxton Jones, going to be out for the majority of the offseason program, he's still recovering from off-season ankle surgery, so we should have 4 of our 5 starters getting reps together this offseason. But who will be getting the valuable first-team reps at left tackle? There are going to be 2 guys in competition here. I expect both Karan Amagaji and Ozzy Trapillo to both spend time with the starting unit. But who's going to get the majority of those reps? That's something we'll be keeping an eye on throughout all of this offseason. But whoever gets those early reps could have a slight advantage going forward. Another thing to watch on the offensive line is the health of some guys coming back off injuries. We know Braxton Jones is not going to be healthy for the offseason program, and he might even miss the start of training camp. But what about the other 2 guys who ended the year on the injured reserve, particularly Bill Murray and Ryan Bates? Murray flashed a ton of potential before his season ended prematurely. Bates, though, struggled with a shoulder injury all year, and some question if he can ever return to 100%. He's a guy who has no guaranteed money left on his contract, so we could still cut him in training camp if he's not healthy and save another $3.5 million. In order for Ryan Bates to make this team, he needs to be healthy. If so, he is a guy who can be a valuable depth piece at guard and center. And that brings me to Luke Newman, our rookie. Where does he line up? Because he's a guy I would love to see at center. He put in a lot of work there during his pre-draft preparation and during his off-season training. But during the Bears rookie mini camps, we stuck him at left guard. I would love to see Newman get some reps at center this offseason. Another thing to keep an eye on is veteran participation. This is the first voluntary OTA where veterans can attend. Last season, both Montez Sweat and Keenan Allen were not present for these practices. This year, I do expect everyone to be here with the new coaching staff, but it is possible a couple of guys do not attend until the mandatory OTAs in 2 weeks, starting on June 3rd. Something else I'll be watching, though, is how much Caleb Williams is under center and how comfortable he looks in this new offense. I expect the new starting center, Drew Dahlman, to help Caleb a lot, especially when it comes to pre-snap adjustments and blitz recognition. But it's not just having Drew Dahlman in front of him. Also having Joe Tooney and Jonah Jackson all on the interior, that's 3 guys who can play at a Pro Bowl caliber level. That's 3 guys who can all play at a Pro Bowl caliber level, anchoring the interior of the line. That should be really fun to watch, and it'll really take a lot of pressure off of Caleb when it comes to those pre-snap adjustments. Another thing to watch, though, is who is going to establish themselves as the new leaders on this football team. This is a team that lacked something in the locker room last year. We did not have the culture of a winning team, and that's part of the reason we brought in guys like Joe Tooney and Grady Jarrett. I expect both of them to be team captains. And then how much leadership was Caleb Williams going to take on? Is having both Tooney and Dahlman leading in front of him going to take some pressure off of him? And what happens at the QB2 spot? I am a big fan of Tyson Bagent, but we can't rule out Case Keenum pushing him for that backup spot. I think Keenum's best ability, though, might be teaching Caleb how to watch tape and just be a professional in the NFL. Other things to watch out for are the return of Jaquan Brisker, who is finally fully healthy. He's coming back to this defense, and I'd say keep an eye on who's getting starting reps all over this defense. Dennis Allen and Ben Johnson both said the depth chart is clear, and people are going to have to earn their spots. Now, there's a lot of guys who are just going to be starters no matter what, due to their contracts and veteran status. But there are a couple spots where I think they could really be up for grabs that no one's considering right now. What about cornerback 2 spot? Who is getting those reps? Is Tyreek Stevenson going to be getting all the reps? Or do we see Kyler Gordon or Terrell Smith getting some as well? I know Kyler will be getting reps somewhere else other than nickelback. Will it be at safety or outside corner? Dennis Allen spoke about that earlier in the offseason. Personally, I'd like to see Kyler play some safety, but we'll see. But it's the same all along our defensive line as well. So the rotation and use of the defensive line and what order these guys come in, that will be something to watch. But remember, as always, until pads come on, you're not really going to learn much from the trenches. But today's practice is open to the media, so I'll be back with a full report later today and potentially a couple of highlights from practice as well. Stay tuned. Let me know what you're looking forward to seeing as day 2 of veteran OTAs kick off. Remember to hit that like button for me. Stay tuned. And until next time, bear down.